Hello everyone, welcome to lesson 4. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about types of guitar, right? So, normally, these are the three types of guitar you will find in the market, right? There are a lot of other variations as well, but primarily these are the three. So, one is the acoustic guitar, right? Uh, and this guitar which you see here is an acoustic guitar. So what do you mean by acoustic? Basically, acoustic means in physics which relates to sound, right? Study of sound. Or another way, if in a room you're like I'm talking right now, how my vocal sound is moving around, right? The study of that is called acoustic in terms of physics, right? So this is an acoustic guitar. It's a 6-string acoustic guitar, right? So if you have seen my lesson 1, 2 and 3, um, we have been talking about 6 strings, right? So this is a 6-string acoustic guitar. There's another variation of acoustic guitar which comes with 12 strings. I don't have it, but I'll put a picture of that in the video. So that's a 12-string guitar, acoustic guitar. And then second type is an electric guitar. So this one is an electric guitar which you see here, right? So what is the difference between acoustic and electric? So let me quickly show you, how the acoustic sounds basically. So acoustic, if I play, it's not plugged in anywhere, and whatever strings I'm playing, it's giving the sound. How is the sound being created? Basically, you see this hole. This is called a sound. This is called a sound hole. So when I'm playing, the sound coming from the string is actually going inside, and it's actually getting amplified by the instrument itself. And what you're hearing is output of that, right? And now when I come back to the electric guitar and play this, the volume of the strings is very low, right? Yeah, it's very low compared to acoustic guitar. So essentially that is the difference. An electric guitar has a very low volume of its own, but how do we amplify it, right? And that's why it's called electric guitar, because it works on electricity. It needs electricity. So when I say electricity, that I don't need to plug it in this one into a power socket. No, I actually have to, it has few parts, like this is the black colored thing under the strings which you see. These are called pickups, right? So these pickups basically have some, it's a device basically which captures the sound of the strings and converts that into an electrical signal, right? And I have a jack here, right, where I plug in my cable, right? It's a 1x4 inch cable which I plug in here, and the other end I plug in into an amplifier or a speaker. You see here, this is a small speaker, and I plug that in, and so when I play here, that electrical signal is getting amplified, and the output I can hear on the speaker. That's basically that's how the electric guitar works. So this guitar has a four pickup, and it has different controls here to control the volume of each of them, right? So each of them is connected to these knobs, and right. So that's basically how it works, right? And what is the difference between electric and acoustic? So like acoustic guitar is it's a complete instrument in its own. It's not, you don't need any external connectivity, right? So if you have the guitar and you know how to play the song, you're pretty much good. Actually, you can just play and then it does this job, right? The only difference between, there are a lot of difference, but basic difference between electric and acoustic. To play acoustic, it's a little bit more, it needs more effort, right? Because the strings are a little bit different compared to the quality of the strings on electric versus acoustic is different. The frets, the position of the frets, and it's a little bit different. We'll talk about the parts of the guitar in next few minutes, right? And you need a little bit more effort, you know, when I'm basically playing a song or so when I play the same thing on electric, you know, it is very smooth. The fretboard is very smooth, and the strings are pretty smooth, right? So I can feel it when you play it. Actually, you feel that, you know, you need to put less effort in playing electric guitar. And then I'll talk about the parts of guitar next few minutes. And as a student, which guitar should you pick for learning? Acoustic guitar, electric guitar. Before I get into that, the third type of guitar is a bass guitar, which is actually a 4 strings guitar, right? So when I say, actually I can use this as a demo, right? If you see this acoustic guitar, or rather, I would rather pick electric guitar, because bass guitar is actually an electric guitar. It also requires you know, electrical connectivity. But if you see, this is it's an electric guitar with 6 strings. But if I, you know, hide these 2 strings and just see the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, right? So these are the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. If you don't know, please go to my previous lessons, lesson 1, 2, and 3, where I'm talking about the types of the strings on the guitar and, you know, other things related to it. So a bass guitar basically will have the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th string, right? And these are bass notes basically, right? If you hear them, they sound a little bit heavy, right? They're very low and sounding very loud, you know. It has that bass kind of sound, right? That's why it's called bass notes. And these are the notes, these are the strings basically you will find on bass guitar, but of course they are more thicker, right? Because bass guitar is meant to be playing only the bass notes along with the song, right? So I don't have a bass guitar, but I'll put a picture of that just for your understanding. Okay, so these are essentially the 3 types of guitar which you will find generally. There are various versions of acoustic. You have a classical acoustic guitar, you know, Spanish version. This is a Western version. Spanish version, I'm not sure right now, but there is a guitar which these are actually metal strings, right? Yeah, it's a nickel, and some of the strings now use different metal. I don't remember. I'll put some links on that. There is a guitar which comes with the nylon strings, right? I think that's basically the classical, or it's actually Spanish version of it. I don't remember right now, but yeah, I think that's what it is. And it has a different sound. When you play nylon strings, it has a different sound. It sounds completely different, and it's used for different types of songs, right? Okay, so that's basically about types of guitar. Okay, as a student, which guitar should you pick to learn? Acoustic guitar or an electric guitar? My personal recommendation is go with an acoustic guitar. For a simple reason, it is difficult to learn on an acoustic guitar, and if you lay a foundation with an instrument which is difficult, you know, it's going to only make it easier later on, right? Initially you will struggle, because when you are playing acoustic guitar and you press the each fret, and you need to put that effort, you know. Your fingers are not used to playing an instrument, right? So when you play, you know, your fingers will pain, and you will get cuts also, and you might actually see some your fingers getting hurt to some extent, but that pain is not going to be in vain for sure, because the more effort you put in learning on acoustic guitar, it's going to only yield wonderful fruits later on, and I can guarantee on that. Learning on electric guitar is easy initially because when you press a fret, you put less pressure. Right? It's very easy. I mean, I hardly press put a any effort here. It's very easy. But then again, it's your individual choice, which one you want to pick in learning. But my personal recommendation is go with acoustic because it's difficult, but it's the right way of learning. No pain, no gain, right? So now I'm going to talk about parts of guitar, right? So I'll take my acoustic guitar and use this to demonstrate different parts of guitar for your understanding. So as you see here, so this guitar has a lot of parts, right? I hope you can see it. Let's make sure that you guys see it properly. Okay, so I'll start from the top. So this thing, right? You see this part? This is called the head, right? As you can make out it, the position of the guitar is this is the head of the guitar, and these 6 knobs which you see on the side, these are called tuning pegs, right? So tuning pegs, as the name says, these are used for tuning the strings. So every string has a particular fixed frequency in a standard way, right? And you use these tuning pegs to tune each string. I'll basically come up with another lesson how to tune your guitar, which will make you understand how to tune it to make sure it sounds correct. Very, very important. I mean, before you start learning, I think the important thing is to tune your guitar, understand, and there are different ways and different techniques and different tools you can use to tune your guitar. So we'll talk about that. Okay, so this is the head, this is my tuning pegs, and this one you see the white color thing, this is called the nut, right? That's called the nut, and this you see is called a fretboard. Fret is spelled as F-R-E-T, and this is a fretboard, means what are then frets, right? This is a board, understood, but then what is a fret? So you see these metal things here, these ones under the strings. So these are called frets. This is my first fret, second fret, third fret, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and so on, right? But if you have seen my lesson 1, 2, and 3, where I've been telling you press the first fret, and I'm pressing here, right? But right now I just told you this is the first fret. But you don't press here. When somebody says okay, press the first fret, it's basically before the fret actually. That is the how you understand. So this is my first fret. Basically between my nut and first fret is where I press. But if I press here, see, I don't hear anything. So this is your first fret, but from a parts of the guitar perspective, this is the first fret. But when you play before the fret and the nut. Similarly, this is my second fret, but if I have to play it, I play between the first and second, right? And so on. Okay. Okay, and then you see on the fretboard, you see these dots, right? These are called position markers, right? These are standard parts actually. Somebody else might call it this as a different name, but generally I've seen this is called a position marker, and these are fixed, right? If you pick any guitar of any company, you will always see these position markers, right? Example, if you see the electric guitar, you have the position marker, and you see it on the 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th, 9th, and 12th, right? Why do you see 2 markers on the 12th? The reason being, so from nut till 11th fret, I have the notes here. So when on the 12th fret, the notes are basically the same. okay, and the only thing is it repeats, right? So for example, to make you understand, this is my first string open. If you remember my first lesson, or second lesson rather, this is E, right? So this is my E, and if I play the 12th fret on the first string, it's sounding same. It's just that the frequency is higher, it's on the next octave, right? But this is also E. So what basically this means is, from my 12th fret onwards, my notes, my basically notes are repeating. They are kind of getting reset, and it's on the next octave, right? So this is my E, this is my E, and then so on and so forth, right? If you remember my third lesson, second string, the open position is B, and if I press the 12th fret, right, this is sounding same. It's just that it's on the higher octave frequency. So this is basically position markers to help when you're playing the guitar. These position markers help you identify, which fret you have to press on a string, right? As we go on, you learn a lot of other strings, other stuff. We'll be covering the frets on the higher frets also, notes on the higher frets also, and that's where it helps. But one more thing to observe is that same position markers are on the side here as well, right? Same thing, right? 3rd fret, 5th, 7th, 9th, and 12th, right? So why these are given on the side? Because when you're playing guitar, you're actually playing like this. You actually are not, you can't see each fret, right? From here, I'm playing, this is my correct position, right? So I have to keep my guitar on my lap, with the curve here, sitting on my lap. And so when I'm playing like this, I can't basically see what I'm playing. So if I have to press 3rd string, 5th fret, I can't go and look here. So I can use this position marker to find out. So I'm giving a demo, right? 3rd string, 5th and 7th frets I have to play. So I can see here and easily find out. So these position markers help me play, identify the frets, right? Very, very useful. And as you go in your advanced lessons, you will realize the importance of these, and it will make you more independent. You actually don't have to bend like this or play like this. This is the wrong way of playing. You cannot make your guitar sleep on your lap. It has to be sitting on it. Okay. All right. So that's about position markers. This is the fretboard. These are the frets. Okay. This is basically called the body, right? This whole thing is called the body. Okay. And I think earlier I said this hole is called a sound hole. Right? This is where when you're playing, the sound of the strings go inside the hole, and acoustics inside this produce and amplify the sound in a very natural way, right? Okay. And then talking about these pieces, right? So this wooden piece, the brown wooden piece you see, right? This is called a saddle, right? So like you put a saddle on a horse. Saddle is basically on top of which you sit and ride the horse, right? Similarly, this is a saddle for the guitar where the strings are sitting on it, right? And this piece, this white piece, is called a bridge, right? So it's acting as a bridge for the strings to connect from this end to the nut, right? That is why it's called a bridge, right? And these white colored dots, these are actually it's kind of a pin. It's right now it's actually gone inside, but if you take it out, it's acting as a pin, and hence they are called bridge pins. These are basically when you when you put a new string, probably I'll cover that in another lesson. One end of the string, you put it inside the hole, and you use the bridge pin to lock it inside the bridge, okay, and inside the saddle, and it's kind of a lock. It locks the string, and then you take the string, you put it and tie it here, and once you do that, you can use the tuning peg to tune it to a particular frequency. Okay. Yeah, that's how the guitar is formed. These are essentially the parts of the guitar, and as I already covered in my previous lesson, these are 6 strings: first string, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. So as you see, the first string is the thinnest, and as you move up, the thickness increases, right? And these are very standard sizes actually. Yeah, I think the thinnest one is a 0.1 mm or something. I don't remember, but there are different companies coming up with the different sizes. But the standard one is like 0.1 to 0.12 mm, and then goes up, right? Yeah. You see these knobs, knobs here. There's one here and one here. This is basically to tie your belt, right? So this belt actually is going to help you if you're going to stand and perform. It's difficult to just lift it and keep playing. So this belt actually helps you rest the guitar on around your shoulder, and you can just concentrate on your playing. But when you're sitting, essentially you don't need a belt. You can actually get rid of it. But then this is mostly for when you're standing and performing in a show or somewhere, right? It helps you, keep the guitar in a position very comfortable to you, and you can actually focus on your playing. Right. So that's about the parts of the guitar. Just thinking, is anything I'm missing? I think I've covered pretty much everything. Yeah. If you have any comments, any suggestions, any questions, feel free to put it in the comment section, and I will be happy to answer that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.